So turn this over, and we're just going to connect for a second. I just know that I've been asked to show up for people and sometimes do easy things and sometimes do hard things, and I've had to walk myself through immense faith and trust to do it. To me, what I think I've learned more than anything is that I bring people home, right? And home is to them, and sometimes home is to oneness, right? To God, back. If they pass, then I know they're good. I've helped multiple people pass at this point, and they're good. They're really good. But thinking that I'm supposed to save everybody, healer, that is not the role. I'm not the savior. I participate in healing, and healing sometimes is helping somebody return home, like to themselves, to their okayness, and sometimes it's to their faith. Yeah. Sometimes it's returning somebody back to their faith. And so what usually happens is, like right now, if you feel me try to muscle test you, can you feel how tight you are? Mm. So what happens, so right now, the way I choose to muscle test is this way. A lot of people do this. I don't like that because then the brain and the muscles have to be involved. But I wait, and this is me asking you down here. I know you've given me permission mentally, but this is me connecting to your body. And I'm just waiting, and what'll happen when it joins, when our energies merge, it'll go to that. Nice and loose. You feel the difference from when we began? So now I know that we're here together working. That I'm not special. It's us together, because you're now in your body and in your head, both allowing me. And then I might check your nervous system to see where we're starting today. And that's okay. A little tight here. Can you feel that? Mm-hmm. So just your legs not moving the way I would love to see it move. And then this leg, again, kind of tightish, right? Mm-hmm. And this ankle's a little tighter than the other one. Can you feel that? Yeah. So for me, that means your back, while it's doing much better than it has in the past, is still slightly fatiguey tired. Mm-hmm. And maybe your right neck or shoulder is also slightly tired. So that's how I would kind of evaluate just the nervous system. And if I try to do this, there's just not enough movement for me for you to be free, right? And so we're going to want that to be super loose by the time we're done. Okay, so we're going to start. Your body wants to start with something physical. Is that a little tender? Mm-hmm. And ready for your belly button? Okay. So these are kidney points. This is just a, there we go. Just shift it. Okay, good. So with all that we've talked about, we're going to just touch a couple and tell me if these are a little bitey.
Mm-hmm. They are, especially the big toe.
Especially the big toe. And what about this point right here?
Not as bad.
Okay. So when I do this work, what some people feel is either some heat or some vibration. Some people will feel pressure, and those all mean different things to the body. So these, if they're clear, you'll say clear, and if not clear, we work at them some more.
So the big toe's better, but not clear.
Okay. So you're going to be sore there, mm-hmm. and there. Mm-hmm. So again, usually, there's something uphill from something if we don't get it all the way, which is fine.
Better.
And just having done that, you can see that your leg already starts beginning to have some freedom, mm-hmm. right? Which is super important. And some of the points on the toes, if you look up, acupuncture points, right? They'll go to some neurology and some organs and some different things and stuff like that. So I don't get too caught in story when I heal, what this is and what that is. I just like things, if there's an out of order or an obstacle, to get out the way. So I don't get too caught up in everything else.
Better.
Okay. You can feel how stuck this is, right? It's not moving. So, you know, if I work with you, then your body will release from my hand versus me moving my hand on your body, right? So it'll glide together versus me. I could do that, but when I meet it, it doesn't move right here, right? So I just kind of jiggle it and it's kind of letting me go in increments. Now this is just me doing like a whole body, not with a specific thing. If somebody came in with a heart issue, I'd do a little bit of clearing to make room, and then I would focus on the heart, obviously, right? Or whatever they have going on. This will probably move this time. There it goes. You feel the difference?
I feel a big
there's a
difference.
big knot right there, though, right there. That knot. You feel that one? So that's just your fascia. And if I sit on it, it's going to hurt a little. And when it lets go, which it's about 6 seconds away from doing, it just kicks my hand off. It just kicks your hand. And then we have a leg that really works, and now we made that leg longer. Because all that tension had your legs jammed up like that, and I just made the muscles longer, so now your whole leg's longer.
Feels good.
And now we make them even.
You know, when I met you, I was doing traditional therapy and also, you know, just starting to get into this healing type of work. And after I started working with you, it was to the point where all the things that I've been talking about forever, I didn't feel like I needed to talk about them anymore. It felt like a physical release of it.
Well, yeah, what happens is when we talk about the story over and over again, right? Each cell has a negative polarity inside and a positive polarity outside. And as we talk about it, we're either building the positive or we're building the negative. You keep talking about a story that harmed you, you're building the negative.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you just got to get it out of the body, so you just don't even want to talk about it, right? Once you get it out of the body, then the necessary to talk about it isn't there.
Like, I thought some of the things I would never be able to, you know, kind of shift in my thinking or in my life, but it's amazing. It's like it doesn't even impact.
You're just
my
responding
decision-making
differently,
anymore.
right? You're not reacting to things, you're not protecting yourself. You're just not doing those things that you did automatically, not even knowing you did them automatically and thinking you couldn't stop them. But the reason you couldn't stop them was you kept talking about them every day.
Yeah.
It makes zero sense to me when we want to get well, for me. You know, for some people that's their path. Me, I like to move energy, so, you know, I think God gifted me with a lot of athleticism when I was young to move energy for what I had to deal with. You know, for you, you did it your way. Those sore?
Yeah, definitely sore there.
How about those ones?
Better than the other side.
Okay. So, you know, it's just, and then as you and I have talked about, I think people need to have an out loud and visceral gratitude practice, so they start changing their cellular structure, right? I think I read something the other day somewhere that there's actually been some science to it that talks about how when you have I don't know if it was out loud and visceral like I like people to do it, but an out loud, you know, or gratitude practice, that it's literally starting to show cellularly now, or someone did something on it.
Feels good. Good. Good.
Yeah. So is there anything specific you had today that you wanted to work on?
It's the usual stuff. I'm just brewing in the same thing.
Okay. No problem.
It's more the relationship, the job, the work, but it feels better. It doesn't feel like anything needs to change quickly, but I do need to build some courage to make actionable steps.
Yeah, so interestingly enough, watch this, because you just said courage, right? So say, I need to build some courage.
I need to build some courage.
And feel how loose your hand is, okay? So courage, so your thymus sits right here. Your thymus is in front of your heart center. And the things that really feed it, faith, love, trust, gratitude, and courage. Courage. So I know
you touched that area. I'm like, I need courage.
I know, it's the first thing you said when I put my fingers here. So, and your body agrees. But you know, your courage will build in the way that you're already starting to do things. You're starting to see that life works out when you follow yourself, not when you figure out how to do yourself, but you follow your guidance. So it begins to show you. And then you took a courageous step to do your podcast, right? You've taken
Thanks for being there day one.
yeah. But you've taken some courage, that was new. You know, and then you took some courageous steps to have conversations with people in the medical field about this side of your life. That is courage. So you already have been building it, right? It's just you think some of these other things that are on your mind are bigger than you want to deal with. Nothing's bigger than you want to deal with. They're going to come in order that you can do them.
Yeah.
But if you put a thought on there, it's bigger than I can deal with, and it's a problem I don't want to deal with, then that's going to stifle you, right?
I like that. It will come as it needs to.
It'll come.
When I'm prepared.
Yeah, it'll come. It's like, we don't need to rush things. We don't have to make grand decisions. I mean, if we have a life or death decision, yeah, make it, right? But this isn't.
That's true.
This isn't a life or death decision, right? This is really more of a timing issue if it's meant to be. So you keep taking the courageous steps on the little things that you're doing. You're practicing courage, and then you get more comfortable with it, and then you walk through courage on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. And then you do it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then you do it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you know? You'll do it when you're ready to, or you want to. But people try to start from eating the whole apple, and you have to take a bite first. So you've taken a few bites recently.
And they've been great.
And they've been great.
Love apple.
And just look at how many people you've met doing this, and how many people are
so
amazed
cool.
at what you're doing.
It's so
and
guided.
So that is it. So don't say I need to build it. It's just like, I look forward to opening more of it, because you already have it.
To opening more courage.
Yeah, in right timing.
In right timing.
Right? You don't need to be in charge of that. So that already feels better. You feel that?
Yeah,
it's like
a lot better.
Soft now.
And then the other thing is I did a bunch of blood tests just to do my baseline, and I have some nutritional deficiencies, and I probably need to just supplement those.
In what?
It's like vitamin D and what else was it? Iron, and my cholesterol's always been high. I think it's genetic.
I have high cholesterol too. So your vitamin D, your body agreed with. The iron, your body's not too excited about taking just yet for some reason. But you know, maybe not every day. Maybe it's just adding a little in.
Intermittent.
Your vitamin D, if you get the supplement and bring it in, I can test it to you. I can show you guys how we do that in a minute if you want. But
it's so funny. I was actually thinking about stopping at CVS on the way here.
you should have. I do everybody's medicine, supplements, all of it. So, so your vitamin D definitely, sublingual, liquid best. Your body says you're going to like the biotics better than the orthomolecular is another good brand. There's plenty of them, but you need about, I don't know what you remember what your vitamin D test was?
It was super low. It was 25, and I think it was just borderline for abnormal, but it's been abnormal for my entire life.
So what your body tells me is if you do, you need about 8,000 units a day for a little while to catch up, and so you would do 4 drops typically of one that's sublingual. And that'll kind of get your vitamin D. I'd be curious if you got your vitamin D going and then ate some iron-rich foods instead of an iron supplement.
Yeah,
I think
that feels right.
That feels a little bit better for me for your digestive sense. So that should.
I love it. I like this plan.
That should work out a little bit better.
And then the other thing is like the omega-3s and berberine, and I've never done any of that kind of stuff, but it was on my list.
So how's that spot?
It hurts.
Okay, it's your digestion?
Yeah.
And how's that?
A little bit tender.
Okay. I'll start there, but berberene's a really nice product. There's, certainly better ones, less better ones, and all that stuff, but
And interestingly, I have some antibodies that are like very mildly positive, but they're thyroid and ANA.
ANA, yeah. Yeah, and again, I think
Better.
better or gone.
Better, but not
Remember,
gone.
I'm an athlete. I like to win.
Yeah, not gone yet.
Okay, so
significantly
I like to
better.
try to win for you. Yeah, this, and you got to be, the omega-3s will help a lot with that as well. But that anytime we have part of us that goes against ourselves periodically, we develop
It's fighting ourselves.
Yeah. And so we have to really look at, what are we fighting ourselves with?
I struggle there because I feel like I've made a lot of changes.
You've made a ton.
Like my entire life is different now, but there are still areas, I think, and it's going to take some more practice and time. Better.
Better gone?
Almost gone.
Okay, I'm going to give that one a second, work on
Okay.
this one, and we'll see if we get the whole thing then.
I'm looking at the areas where I self-abandon.
Yeah. So tell me if you feel this either get hot.
Oh, it's hot.
Okay, it's hot. And then tell me if you feel it like either get magnetized or connected to my hand.
Yep.
You got it? Okay, so we're going to try to suspend it in air a little bit. So you might feel it come up from your body. There we go. You feel that?
I feel
okay.
it.
So now what we want to do is put some motion in it, and the motion might be like an ocean wave type of a movement that you feel. And if you want to open your eyes and you can look at the hand that's high, it might feel like the hand that you see moving. Is that about how you're feeling it? Okay. Okay. And then we'll kind of sink it back down. And you'll feel it land. Right there. Good. And we'll do that. I'm going to retest the other one first and give that a second. So that finish that one? And then how's that one? Good. So that was your digestion and then your colon, which is I do a lot of cleanup work on because it's part of the deal. And usually, again, these will get stuck if we're overthinking or we got worry or we're defaulting on abandonment and stuff like that. So I know you eat too well for any of it to actually be actual digestion. And so when I ask the body, is this actually a digestion problem? Your body says no. When I say, is this a energetic, emotional, overthinking problem? Ding, 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 ding. So your body goes, yeah.
Like jumping off the table,
Yeah,
yes.
and for me, that's the fun of this work, right? Like I like to have humor in this work. You know that. We've laughed about a lot of different things in here.
We're
And it's
playful in the cath lab too. I think there's something to it.
yeah, because I mean, healing it's magical. Magic is fun, right? I mean, it's not like, but it's like, look what the body's able to do in minutes, like literal minutes.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, to me, it's super cool.
Wouldn't it be so cool if we did like heart attacks like this, and then we brought you in after to just like make sure that we got everything?
I think we need to do one where I do the energy first after you have the information and see what's actually there.
Yeah.
Because that's and then after too, right? Like one of the more fortunate moments, because I don't even know for sure, when I do the healings, what all goes on, right? I trust and have faith, but I think I mentioned to you one time I had the ability to, with a cancer patient, he happened to be going to get scans after I worked on his liver. And he went in to get the second scans of whatever, and all the lesions were gone from his liver. Like, did I know I had done that? No. Was I trying to remove? Yes, right? But
it's nice when you get that.
But I would love if
Verification.
I could work on people and they could go get some kind of a test.
Yeah.
For them too, right? So they knew.
And it's
Is
like
that better?
a little bit better. I still feel it on the right side.
Yeah, that's funny. So your lungs are grief, can be grief and other things, but this in particular is the thing that you hold courage about, that you're not happy with yourself because you haven't done that one yet.
Yeah.
Like literally, that's what your body just told me. I was like, why is this hanging on?
It's the relationship.
I know. I know what it is. Just leave it be for right now.
Okay, fine.
Just leave it be.
Things are actually fine.
I know. Just leave it be. Stop. Let me give you Fran's special healing. And I tell people sometimes, like, I have a really good healing for that. Do you want it? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, you know better.
If I take you to the cath lab, I feel like you're going to be there, like, tapping my forehead, like, cut it out.
Oh my goodness. Okay. You said thyroid?
Yeah, thyroid antibodies.
Yeah. Can you sit up for?
Surprising.
Can you sit up for a second?
Yep.
And then I guess swing this way to make it easy on you. Let's move your hair out of my way for a second. And then, are you sore there?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
And all my thyroid function numbers are normal, but the antibodies are elevated, which is interesting.
Yeah. Let me just work on it then. You sore there too?
Mm-hmm.
You sore on that side? Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is almost, there it is. A little bit right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Your lymph is a little stickier on this side, so there it goes. Much like your leg when it was the fascia, you know, whenever something isn't flowing, it's just not flowing, right? We don't need to know why, and I mean, you'd need to know why if you're making a lot of bad choices, but you don't make bad choices, so I don't need to get into that with you. And most people, when they make bad choices, don't want to listen to me anyways. Just kidding.
I will say, as I've gone through this whole
There we go.
spiritual process, my body just rejects things. Like, I don't drink
Isn't
at all
it
anymore.
amazing?
I don't drink alcohol. It doesn't feel good.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
It's really amazing.
Yeah.
And even certain foods, I don't eat them because I'm like, I just don't feel good around that.
Yep.
And I'll still have a glass of wine here and there, but it's
Yeah, yeah.
like, it doesn't feel...
It's occasional, it's for something.
Yeah, it's
and,
to celebrate something,
Yeah.
but it doesn't feel... Like, I used to drink all the time, and now I'm just like, I can't.
Is that better?
A lot better.
And these ones?
Better, but I still feel it on the right.
And your lymph is, you sore there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there?
Not
No.
so much there.
There?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That good? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, lay back down for me, please. I think the fatigue that you've been under is taking up a little bit more space than I would love to see for you. Mm-hmm. And while I love that you've been pushing yourself and saying yes to everything, you might need to slow the fatigue down, because I don't, it's not like you're tired or overwhelmed or anything, but your body is fatigued.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
fatigued.
tired.
And so honor it and respect it enough to just park a little bit when you're ready.
Yeah.
Well, maybe before you're ready.
The next 10 days are my parking moment.
Okay, good. That's great timing, actually, especially since you're getting this today.
And then back to doing heart attacks for 10 days.
Where in?
Kansas.
You going back
Yeah.
to that one?
And the number that we said that they were going to accept was the number.
Isn't that
I
amazing?
haven't been back there. Like, we completely lost touch, and then they reached out to me again recently, and I said yes. I was like, you guys need help, and I'm free, so I'll do it.
Tucky, stop, buddy. So you can feel, like when my hand's here, you feel how heavy this is on this arm. So your reliance on yourself has gotten a bit high. And I love that you rely on yourself, and there's more. There's more available to help you. And there it goes, it just moved. Let me see how you just went loose. Again, feel how tight. It's like you're, I mean, it's almost like you're not accessing all that you can through you at the moment. You're accessing you and working hard and doing all the things, but the fatigue that you're in, just the fatigue, not that you're not conscious of what you're doing, has just kind of some of your centers closed for business. So I'm just kind of like re-engaging them, but not to use for work or all the things that you do, but just for you to be, that's good, that one's good.
If somebody doesn't make it through the procedure, or if somebody
Yeah.
has an outcome that we don't want for them, like they pass.
Well, and that's
struggled
why,
with
you
that.
know, as you meet with them, right, as you meet with them and you talk to them and you're with their heart and their soul, not their personality, they feel that,
Yeah.
right? And you might be their last hands before they join God's hands,
Yeah.
right?
But it was
You might
intentional that you
literally
were there.
hold their heart before they go, especially in your work, right? So, you know, my share of that is, you know, when I first began working with cancer patients that were, you know, stage 3 and 4, a little further down the road, and I was helping this gentleman here in town, and he came in. He wasn't able to come in. I did his first one remotely because he was so ill, and then he was able to make it to the office. I'll look at you because that's getting weird. And, and so he was able to make it into the office, and I worked on this morning. He's like, "Oh my gosh, I feel closer to God." And I was like, okay, you know, because I just didn't know what to do with that exactly, right? I mean, that made me happy for him. And he was getting better, and he had energy, and he was able to take walks in the park again and do a couple of things. And he was canning strawberries, and he was so excited because he did it every year. And he was able to can all the strawberries because he had the energy for it. And so we did a couple sessions, and then a few weeks went by, and he died. And I remember being quite upset because in my little brain, healing means being well, right? And that wasn't a version of, in my brain, he died, right? So it took me, so I remember going outside, and I always talk to the universe and totality and the sun and whatnot, and I was like, if this is what you want me to do, I'm a little less interested right now. Like, this is hard on my heart, right? It was hard on my heart. And then I was like, you know, went about my business again. I was frustrated, but my heart was really tender. And his wife ended up having me over, and she was thanking me for all the ways in which it helped their relationship. He was connected to God. He wasn't afraid of dying. All the different things that came in for him. And so I was like, oh my goodness. So I went back outside, and I was like, fine, I accept. You know, we're going to keep going. Because I understood, it just changed my perspective. You know, my perspective is I'm supposed to make it better.
Yeah.
Right? When you're young. You're supposed to make it better. Same for you in your profession. You're supposed to make it better.
When you told me that story, it was actually like very healing for me internally, because if we do enough procedures, if we take care of enough patients, we're going to lose someone.
Yeah.
And I took those so hard. It is so heavy on my heart.
Yeah.
And once he said it like that, I really came to peace with that idea of like we were meant to be there at that time with them, and the outcome was not in our hands. And it was really that we were intended to be there for a purpose or a reason that we can't necessarily always understand in that moment.
Right.
But there's always something there.
Right. Yeah. And for me, after this gentleman, not long after him, I had a gentleman with mesothelioma cancer, which is, you know, lungs filling up, and same thing, remote session. I drained almost his entire lungs because he wasn't breathing, like and he was able to breathe all of a sudden and all the things. And he also made it into the office after that. And then he asked me to help heal his entire family. a daughter with the liver disease, hepatitis from drinking too much and needles and different things, and a son. And I ended up healing his whole family when his wife, his son, his daughter, and everybody was good. About 2.5 years, off he went. Because everybody was good. And then I was okay, right? Because I understood like the bigger picture of what I was doing, right?
I don't know if you remember this, like early on, we did a session and I was telling you about one patient in particular who really stuck out for me. He's a young person and he came in with really bad blockages in all the arteries, came in heart failure. And I did everything I possibly could to try to get him to surgery. And the surgeon at the time said, he's too high risk, I'm not going to take him on. So I tried to transfer him to different hospitals, but it turned out he didn't have healthcare insurance. So nobody would accept him. And we were just kind of like, I just had this really like heavy feeling. I was like, I have 24 hours to get this done or else this patient will not survive.
Yeah.
And I just knew it. And I actually gave an extensive sign out to all my partners in case they get called in the middle of the night. Like, this is our contingency plan of like going in to do a high risk intervention. And that patient ended up having cardiac arrest within that, after that 24-hour period, and he didn't survive. And I was like really beating myself up, like, man, how did we not get this person to this definitive therapy? He's, you know, young, viable, you know, has a family, has a life. Like, how did we kind of let him slip through the cracks? And during one of our sessions, he said to me that that person is actually at peace with it, and that's the way it was meant to happen. But I just remember I like held on to it, and it wasn't until I quit the job and like 3 months later went to the beach in Costa Rica and I just started crying, and I didn't know where it came from, but I could feel it.
Yeah. And I think, you know, there's so much more, you know, our soul doesn't know color, age, religion, gender, any of it. It just doesn't. And it doesn't mean we should be lazy, right? And let our soul, whatever, but it's like back to grace. We are actually not in charge. We're here as an offer or an opportunity, and it's, you know, to me, what I think I've learned more than anything is that I bring people home, right? And home is to them, and sometimes home is to oneness, right? To God, back. They, you know, if they pass, then I know they're good. I've helped multiple people pass at this point, and they're good. They're really good. But thinking that I'm supposed to save everybody, you know, healer, you know, that is not the role. I'm not the savior. I participate in healing. And healing sometimes is helping somebody return home, like to themselves, to their okayness. And sometimes it's to their faith. Sometimes it's returning somebody back to their faith.
You know what helped me build trust in you, which is so funny now that I'm thinking back to it, because I feel like I've learned so much from you just over the many sessions that we've done. But you were doing my first session and you had your hand over my left rib cage and you were like, something happened here, there's a scar. And I was wearing a shirt, you couldn't see anything, but it was a tattoo that I got, and it's the only one that I have.
Oh, wow.
And you were like, actually, when you do something to your body like this, it can hold the energetic imprint of that experience, like whether it's the time in your life that you were going through or the person who was doing it or the materials that were used. And I was like, there's no way that you would have known that.
I didn't know you.
Yeah, you had no idea.
Yeah.
It's just really cool. And it's like, every time we've done this experience, I've like learned something different. But I've also realized like I can't intellectualize what you're doing.
I can't intellectualize what I'm doing. So, I mean,
but
you know,
I feel something.
Yeah, no, everybody does. And the thing is I have, you know, deep respect for, you know, the heart and soul of people, right? And so I try to meet people where they're at. I do not, one thing that I think is important to know, when you work with anyone who's in integrity and very good in this work, they will not go where they're not invited. So I don't go in people's system, regardless of my abilities. I won't share something you don't know about yourself to you. I might touch something where you go, oh, I had a thing when I was 5. Now you know, now you're a part of it, right? And then we're doing it together. But I would never bring up something that you may or may not be ready for, or that, and I've also asked that I don't see anything that somebody doesn't really want me to see. Right? So I do think that that's very respectful and kind.
You work in integrity.
I'm not going to see all your secrets. I mean, I told you this as well, like that, you know, tattoo or whatever. Your secrets are very safe with me in that there's no bigger or smaller secrets to me, and I may find out something in here that you didn't tell me, which is fine. But I usually forget, as I did that story, once you leave, because I'm so deeply here for you, not here for what I can do. This has nothing to do with what I can do. This is literally, truly about you, so I have to let it go to do the next person. So your secrets are absolutely safe. When you leave and while you're here, we're going to uncover a few things.
And I also just want to mention that, like, you know, working with someone like you and meeting you in particular, it helped me develop discernment for, you know, people that I want to engage with in terms of a healing type of relationship. I think you do work in very high integrity, and it's like a feeling thing. I can feel it. And as I've developed deeper self-trust and that feeling, it helps me with my discernment of who I engage with and who I would rather not, kind of participate with. But the one thing I really admire about you, it's never fear-based. It's never like, if you don't do this, something terrible will happen to you. And I think that's one of those like red flags that goes up in my mind as I've been navigating this world of healing. And the more egoic, like, I can do this, I'm the only one that can do this, it kind of disempowers you. Like, that's not really part of that.
I'm here for your empowerment, your empowerment, not empowerment, right? Like, it's empowerment. Like,
I want to be empowered.
I want you to live in joy, not ENJOY life, right? I'm here for your wholeness. I have so many people. Liv actually just asked me the other day, and she had done my chart, and she's like, your chart's crazy, and which was wonderful. I don't understand that stuff. But she was like, you know, your whole chart lines up that you're a healer and you're a shaman and something else. And she goes, why don't you tell anybody that you do that? And I said, because it's not about me. It doesn't matter if I'm a healer or an intuitive or a clair this or that or a shaman. It matters that you get well. And if it's me, great. And if it's not me, I'm going to help you find somebody. Like, I don't have that. It's just never been in me that way.
I just wonder, how do we create a system where people work in integrity together? Because I think that's part of the challenge with this healing space, right? Because everybody's going to have their own way of doing something, which is the way it's supposed to be by design.
Sure.
But how do we help people to feel like they don't have to prove something, and the ego kicks in, and then you have to...
And that's really the key, right? If we're going to really, truly collaborate, then it's a deep respect for one another. There can be zero jealousy in what you offer or what I offer, or who's better, or all that stuff. And we definitely have had to have worked on any of our comparison energies, which, you know, go with jealousy. And then we have to really stand up in my zone of excellence, and you have to stand up in your zone of excellence, and that deep honor has to be there so that it can happen, not what I do and what you do. You know, you can't even limit you to what you do. I certainly can't. You know, I was sharing the other day that when I started this business, and, you know, they asked me, you know, what my elevator pitch, whatever that business is, and, you know, I was like, what is that? And they said, you know, what you say in 20 seconds so that people can understand your work. I was like, I'll take the stairs. I don't, if I'm going to build this business on something like that, I'm not interested, right?
Yeah.
But you've done it, I've done it, is you commit to something. I committed to a spiritual path quite young. And then I remained committed to my commitment, and I kept learning how to connect. I kept learning how to get answers. I kept learning how to go deeper. And I spent a lot of time there, and I made big decisions. At 13, I decided to heal the family lineage with me. Like, I don't know who else does that at 13, but I'm sure somebody does if I did. And then you just keep choosing love. You keep choosing showing up. You keep choosing going forward. And then you share that with somebody else who's done it, not somebody who wants to prove themselves. I have literally nothing to prove because I already know this works. I'm so high in my faith and my trust, I already know it works. There's actually nothing for me to prove. So I work with a lot of people at this point because there's nothing for me to prove.
Whenever we started talking about those things of like how those suppressed emotions, experiences, energies that are stagnant stay in the body and create disease, that was the first time I put it together about the metaphysical cause of illness. And I could feel it in people who came in with similar problems, that they had a very similar kind of energetic feel. I didn't understand it at that point, but they just kind of felt the same to me.
Sure.
In terms of, you know, just the they felt heavy, like they felt like they were holding on to something.
Yeah,
But
it's a tension and a vibration that you're feeling. So everything's vibration, right? It's either in flow and it's just easy, or it's got a little tense or a little proving, and you're starting to feel them all because everything, every word even has a vibration. None of us go like, if you asked me how I was doing, I wouldn't be like, oh man, like I'm in so much anxiety right now. It doesn't even look right.
yeah,
Right? Anxiety has a vibration and a tension to it. Flow has a vibration and a tension to it. So they're just different.
yeah. It's like, and it's super interesting to me because I just know that I'm not at the level of discernment of those energies that you are. But if I could just take you to my world, I'm so curious about what you would see.
Yeah, I am too. I'd
Yeah.
love, if it ever works out, it'll be fun to see how it goes.
That should be the goal.
Yeah, I think it'd be a blast. I have gone and worked on people in hospitals, and I do that and stuff. But it's there's always, as you well know, right? There's always root causes. Sometimes people do or don't get to deal with that, right? They don't, and they go into distraction and strategies to get through it. Whether they smoke or they drink or they game or they stay up at night or whatever distraction energy they pick. And sometimes the strategy is phenomenal until it becomes a habit, right? But there are some things we do to be okay that are actually just a strategy. But we miss this, and then we end up with a disease, and then we're busy focusing on the disease, and then it comes back because we never get to deal with it energetically. So one of the things I like to do when I do a gratitude practice is connect my feet into the ground to connect to a tree and really take in some kind of nature so that I feel connected with the earth and the planet. And then I just begin. In the mornings, it's always anything, anywhere, anytime, any place. And so I might be like, oh, and I feel it in my body. I don't do this with my body. I'm going to show you, but I feel it viscerally. I say it out loud. Like, I'm so deeply grateful for the time that I used to go and ride on the carousel up and down on the horses, and I could see the extreme joy on my face, and I'd look to my right and how happy that made me, and how that moment and that love of those horses going around the carousel lets me work with horses today. And I'm deeply grateful for the horses that work with me and help my clients, and that I even get the opportunity to do that. And the deep gratitude that I have for my mother, and what an incredible teacher she's been in my life. She's given me fun stuff and a lot of hard stuff, and it's just been incredible because I've learned so much from her being a master teacher in my life, and on and on and on. So usually she comes first, so you just put your fist out, just a fist. There we go. He's really been, you can put that down now if you want. Just go like this. Yeah. And then he's gonna, and then Lucy is you feel the difference in energies?
Very much so.
Isn't it wild? Yeah. It's very, very different. If you stand there and just say, it's nice to meet you, then.
It's nice to meet you.
And then she goes to work fast. She's working on your hip. She goes to work super fast. And normally I sit people down and we talk, and then they both do their little healing. They'll go up and down your butt, and that's a release. So what we want to be able to do is be ourselves in totality and notice what we notice different, not get in their business, right? Mm-hmm. She's now moving energy. When you see that happen, he's leaving because she's moving energy. This is what usually happens out here.
Does she move energy for you as well?
Yeah, I mean, she knows I've kind of got it, but if I'm having a hard time with something, I'll come out here and say, hey, I could use some help. And they'll come over and kind of.
I can feel something.
Oh yeah, she's good.
Can you?
Like, normally I sit down in the two chairs and she'll get between people and she'll start running your system. And I had, the funniest thing she did one time is I had a lady that was in her head a lot, and she was where she is there. There's the heavy, yeah. And she went behind her head and bonked her in the head like I bonk them inside. And so then the lady, got it together for a minute and started talking. She did it a second time, and the woman said, "Oh, I guess I'm in my head too much." And I'm like, but she's a powerful healer.
She feels like an old friend.
Huh?
She feels like an old friend.
Yeah. Because you let yourself be where you were, which was scared, which allowed her to meet that energy softly and gently.
Yeah.
So again, go back to the time and space for two to be comfortable.
Does that work for people too?
100%.
So if we're in congruence,
Yes.
so we have to show up with exactly what we feel inside, but on the outside.
Yeah, well, no, you don't want to show like I'm angry, right? But it's like if you got like, wow, I've got some anger in me, you have to own that anger. I've got some sad in me, you have to own it.
And so it's an energetic own it.
Yeah, it's an energetic own it, right? But especially when you're meeting an animal like a horse, if you're scared, there's a vibration to that. They want to know that vibration so they know whether to run or not. Mm-hmm. So if you're like, I'm scared and I'd love to meet you, they can both be true.
Yeah.
If it's I'm scared and I don't want to meet you, she wouldn't have walked towards you. Mm-hmm. They're that intuitive. I mean, they're brilliant. They're just brilliant.